Hi again, this is the second video. So I'm going to talk about tips for children who cannot cognitively understand what is happening in the world. And the question was, how do I explain why we're home? We have a few links on parenting and explaining what is the coronavirus to kids at their developmental level. So it might be that your child is 10, but the way they understand feelings and thoughts and information is at an age level of a 6-year-old. So that's where you would want to go look for the type of answers and the type of information you want to give your child. That's age appropriate, and we'll post that link. So the first tip is to ask them, what do you know about what's happening right now? So do you know why mommy and daddy are working from home, or what have you heard from your friends? So doing a really good check-in with your kids on what they know is really important. That'll give you some guidance in their possible worries and guidance in how to talk about them, and make sure you bring them the right information. I'll give you an example for a 3-year-old, which is completely different. Someone in our neighborhood, the little kid, if I've seen them around, we just say, oh, we all have a cold right now, so we can't get too close, we're sick. And we just kind of were silly. And also I did see like a 3-year-old kid, they don't understand like social distancing right now. So I saw a kid walking towards me. So what I did was like, they all know the game freeze. So I kind of went freeze, and then the kid responded. And then to make sure to get the kid to walk back towards the parent, I was like, oh, how about you run like a tiger to your mom and dad? So just using like really creative little games to navigate and be at the children's like level is going to be important. There's also some links and resources on how to explain kids who have autism. There's some visual stories. That one I think I posted it on my page. If not, I'll put the link. So there is a way to do visual stories, like have pictures. There's a lot of documents out there to talk to your kids. Other questions was how to help them regulate their feelings and their worry. And the other one that was linked was if kids have attachment difficulties and they don't really want to tell us their worries, what can we do? So anytime we have worries, everything we're doing to calm our body is going to help calm our brain also. So if your child is like maybe more clammed up or not wanting to talk about their worries right now, you can still feel confident as a parent that when you're doing relaxation management or creating those habits every day to relax, that you're addressing the worries, even though it's not necessarily verbally or like having big talks. If you create a really good routine for relaxation, that will help regulate feelings. A lot of kids are coming with belly aches, headaches, not good sleep right now. So when we talked about structure, sleep is really, really important. And so parents need to sleep. We have to have our sleep. And the kids also, like, one of the things that I do say about structure is like trying to keep the sleep routines. I know that some parents decided to do the bedtime like on the weekend right now, if it's like just half an hour later, and not fight the fight of like being back to school bedtime, and that's okay, that's flexibility. But sleep is really, really important to regulate your feelings. When we talk about relaxation, people often think before bedtime. What we try to teach people is, if you want to do relaxation with your kids, to do it when they're not necessarily just before falling asleep. So to do it in the middle of the day, to do it in the morning when you wake up, and to pick the one that's going to work for your child. So there's so many resources out there right now, and the main relaxations are muscular relaxation. There's some really cool one with animals, where you're like a cat, and when you can like do the cat Halloween back and do some belly breathing. So there's a lot of cool relaxation for kids. There's also guided imagery, like stories that will like calm the mind. I like those. You can also search like visualization, and also just learning how to breathe. This might be a really good time to find some cool breathing apps, or some cool breathing videos for kids. For little kids, I really like when you put like a teddy bear on their belly. So you ask them to like rock the teddy bear like while they're breathing. So they're doing some belly breathing. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but what I recommend is to have some relaxation activities each day, like in your day. The routine to go to sleep is different. Relaxation daily is really helpful to lower just the general stress. In terms of attachment, if I can explain a little bit more, using the same words and rhythm is really important. So if you do put a little sign on your door that says working, and you put I love you under, maybe you want to also give a little diary to your child with a heart on it that says I love you when I'm working, and get them to, when they want to connect with you but you have to be working from home, get them to do a drawing and to write you a note in that little book, and when you're done working you can go check in the book. So that would be a little idea for kids who might feel like rejected when you go and you work from home, because when you're home you're often, I don't want to assume, but often parents are home and they're with their kids, so they're not necessarily used to you being home and having to do a lot of other tasks, right? So we try to, in the evening and weekends, usually be super like present with our kids, but it's not going to be possible to do that all day long, all the time. So yeah, so that's a little tip. So we'll put coping skills for kid, calming and relaxing coping skills up in the attachment. And we will also put a link on how to answer kids' question about the virus. Things like we need to stay home to make sure people don't get sick. Just like we couldn't go to Johnny's birthday party when he had chicken pox, sorry, I can't say that word. So things like that would probably be like examples in your family where like, oh no, we couldn't go there because they had a big cold, remember? So you can, at their level, you can explain it that way, that's why we have to stay home right now. And I'm looking at some of the other questions. I like this one. So ideas for how to help a kid about COVID-19 to go outside, ways they can still get fresh air. So giving them the right information is really important at their level. And check in if they have any false belief, like if I go outside, the virus is gonna come to me. Try to figure out the thoughts. And kind of working with them, like if it's that they want to go like on the patio, that's okay. If it's opening a window, at first get them used to like the outside again, that's okay. So maybe do it in little steps. Oh, we'll go outside for 2 minutes today and see how you're feeling, and then the next day, oh, I'll go like for maybe 5 minutes today. So try to expose your kids to being outside again. That's really important, and the base for that is to give them the right information so they don't have false beliefs, or are highly fearful of going outside and the virus getting to them, because we're following all of the social distancing rules. So it's important that the kids go outside and that they move, for sure, for us too as parents. The last question has to do with ways for us, sorry my voice, I've talked a lot in the last week. So the last question would be ways for us as parents to deal with our feelings of being overwhelmed with our children's struggle. I think we're not talking enough about grief. So all the kids are grieving their teachers, their desk, maybe music, art, a club they were in, sports they were in, and us adults too were grieving, like not seeing our friends as much. So it's grief. It's a really big cultural feeling of grief right now. So we have to acknowledge that for sure. We have to acknowledge it with ourselves. So the main message would be self-care is not selfish. One of the a really impactful moment for me a few years ago was when I had a parent that wanted to make sure their kid were not overwhelmed, and they wanted to make sure they were okay. And the parent kept saying, I want, when my child's okay, I'll be okay. And at some point, the person by themselves came to the realization, because we talked a lot about self-care as parents and how we have to really protect and refuel our own energy, and that quality is really important when we spend time with your kids. And at some point, what the person said, which was really beautiful, was, oh, like when I'm okay, my kids are okay. To me, that was really impactful, and I always focused on that. I think it's really beautiful, and it really emphasizes the fact that as parents we have to take care of us and model to our kids, model moving, eating well, sleeping, model and even verbalize our own worries, as much as showing them how we're coping. Silly example, we're trying to make food right now. We don't have everything we have in the pantry. Seems like a little problem in this really big anxiety system, but when everyone's irritable, when everyone's tired and you can't find what you need to cook something, it's really distressing. So an example of you showing how you're coping is to talk out loud and be like, oh, this morning I worked really hard and I came to make lunch and this is missing. Ugh, doesn't feel comfortable, so I'm not feeling really good about that. What can I do? Oh, maybe I'll use something else, or maybe I'll make a different lunch. You take a deep breath and then you say, oh, okay, I feel better now. So when you verbalize how you're coping, it shows the kids like your thoughts and your thought process of how to calm yourself down, calm yourself down from anxious thinking. So that's always appropriate. That's always good modeling, and to model to them exercise. So I will compile a list of all the resources for all of the questions. And maybe the last message I'll leave you with is that it is, all feelings are okay. It is a lot right now. So take the breaks that you need, that you can take. Self-care is not selfish. And stay healthy and take care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. So from us to you, I hope you have a good day. And if we'll try to make more information available and more information sessions as much as we can. Thank you. Bye-bye.